All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have a treat for you this evening. This is Joshua Bean, Green Book Tampa Bay, and this is our most recent episode of Green Book Live. And I am here with Rashad Harrell, also known as Shadcore, lyricist, dope MC. I'm so excited about this interview. So I just wanted to say, Shadcore, thank you for coming on. And what's good?
Not much, bro, man. Feeling good right now. Still got a little bit of that itis, that Thanksgiving hangover.
Tell me
But I'm
about
good,
it, right?
bro. Yeah.
Right. No, it's a true honor, man. I appreciate you being on here. I read that article that Gabe. I'm really good friends with Gabe, who wrote that article, Creative Loafing, right around
Yes.
the time that the Knee Off My Neck would
Right.
drop, which we'll get into later. But basically, let's just get into it. I want to go back to the beginning and really kind of talk about your journey as an MC,
Okay.
kind of that path, and how did it all start for you?
It started back in like the early '80s, bro. As far as my love for hip hop, Run DMC. When I first heard them, man, I fell in love with the music, with the genre. Just being just blown away by like their stage presence, just the way they put their stuff together, their time and everything that they did was so choreographed and just so well done, so like next level to me. So even at like 8, 9 years old, it's like I knew then, man, I'm like, I want to do that. You know what I mean? And so it started with them. Then of course the LL Cool J's, the Public Enemies,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Rakims, the Big Daddy Kanes, all of them, man. They just fell in love with it at a really early age. And so I started, I would recite their rhymes, but like when they say their name, I would put my name in. It wasn't Shadcore back then. It was just like Shad, that's my nickname. So I might just say Shad in the place of Rakim or something like that. And then eventually I started writing my own stuff. And, the more you do it, the more you show people, the more confidence you gain. So probably like really around, I say like 15 or 16 in high school, I formed the group, excuse me, a couple of my high school buddies. We formed a group called Brutal, which stands for Bringing Rap Up to Another Level. And then shortly after we added funk, because that was like the style of music. So we call our style of music Brutal Funk. And man, I've just been going ever since, bro. So that's pretty much how it started, bro.
That's what's up, man. So I worked at Azalea Middle School for about 7 years, and I've, worked with a lot of kids throughout my career, and who has some game, man, some skill. But how did you know you had it, Like,
I think,
was there a moment where
oh man, I wish that I could really say there was a defining moment. I guess there kind of was, to be honest. I had already been kind of writing for a while, but when I got to see how it affected a lot of people at one time was the high school talent show. My senior talent show. Senior talent. And I love telling this story because it seems very cinematic, the way I recall it. Like I wasn't signed up to perform in the talent show. So I was sitting in the audience in the auditorium just watching everybody perform. And the show ended kind of early. So the host was like, anybody want to do something? Because we had some time to kill. So we got the auditorium full of the whole senior class, right? And a few people knew that I rapped because I would like do battles in the cafeteria and just kind of be rapping during lunchtime and stuff like that. And so one person started like a chant. She was like, let Rashad rap. Let Rashad rap. And then before you know it, Josh, the whole auditorium was like, let Rashad rap. Like banging on. It was like something straight out of an after school special, bro. And man, so I got up on the stage, and I didn't have you know, I didn't have anything like prepared. So, but I didn't want to like, you know, like shrink in the moment. So I was like, I got to step up. So I got on the stage. I asked the DJ if he had at the time, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Nothing But a G Thing was out. So I asked, could they play that instrumental? And they dropped that instrumental. And I just started freestyling, man, just killing it. And the whole auditorium was going crazy, bro. And I was like, wow, this is that moment. That was that aha moment, bro. I was like, I can get used to this. Yeah.
That's amazing. So that was in high school or middle school?
That was high school. Yeah.
I've attended
that was my
middle school.
Senior year. Yeah.
Oh. So you're a graduate of Hollins High.
Dixie Holland, yep.
Yeah, yep.
Hollins High, yep.
So you had like other people, boys, just kind of like formed a crew at that point?
Yeah. In high school, my homeboys, Ron, aka Double R, and his brother, Jay Funk, we started I think the summer before my senior year, we started the group. And then there was another MC at the school, my good friend DA. We actually started out battling each other. And, you know, that was almost 30 years ago, bro. He was the best man in my wedding. That's my brother. He's on the new album. He's on the Writer's Appetite song. But we started battling back in high school and stuff like that. And after a while, we just was like, man, let's hook up together. So it was like me, Ron, Jay Funk, my boy DA, and then my homeboy King Spry, who I met at one of the jobs I was working at Bennigan's back in the day. And then my homeboy Black Speed, Steve Wilson, who was just a beast. He was a few grades under me. But yeah, man, we just different high school friends who, you know, finding out this person can make beats, this person rhyme, let's make a crew, you know what I mean? Because Wu-Tang had dropped in like 93, and that was like the cool thing to do, to just see if you can have just like a posse of dudes that can really spit, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So that was a big influence of ours.
We'll get into Suspense Chamber later, man, but
yes.
All the stars just kind of aligned from you. I saw something on Facebook of you like rapping in a New York City park. So I didn't know you were born and raised here, or you just kind of.
Yes. Yeah, that was through a contest where I won with VH1. VH1 had this contest called Freestyle 59. Yeah, and it was like open to, you know, pretty much the whole nation. And this was kind of like around the start of online stuff getting big. This was back in like 05. And they just had a contest where you had to submit a video of you freestyling for 59 seconds. That's why it was called Freestyle 59. And I got a call like 2 weeks after I submitted. I couldn't believe it, bro. My wife answered the phone. This is another funny story. My wife answers the phone because it's a 212 area code. At the time, I didn't know that was New York.
Right.
But I was just like, go ahead and answer. We really thinking it's a bill collector, but go ahead and answer, you know. She answers it. Guess the lady says, "Man, I speak to Rashad." My wife's like, he's not home right now. Then the lady's like, "Tell him Sonya from VH1 called." My wife was like, "Who?" "Yeah, this is Sonya from VH1. She was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, here he is right here." So she handed the phone off to me.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, so that was a real fun experience, man, that, you know, getting selected out of the whole country, man, one of the top 5. And yeah, that was a lot. You know, they flew us out to New York. We got to do some video, got to perform in front of cats like Fat Joe. You know, Fat Joe kind of came in and did like a little mentoring session with the top 5 MCs. It was pretty cool. Chuck D was one of the celebrity judges to narrow it down to the top 5. So yeah, good times.
That's awesome, man. That's a great story. So talk a little bit about your name. Shadcore and the repping the shirt.
Yeah, for sure. So Shadcore was like, I was a big, and still am, a big EPMD fan. And back in the day, hardcore was a word that got tossed around a lot in hip hop, and EPMD used to say that word a lot, hardcore. And I just, just me liking to play around with words, I took out hard and put my name Shad because it sounded similar, hard Shad. And I came up with a song called Shadcore Lyrics. So even at the time when I came up with that name for the song, Shadcore wasn't necessarily my rap name yet. I was just trying to describe my type of lyrics. I'm like, it's hardcore, but it's my version, so it's Shadcore Lyrics. My homeboy Jay Funk out the band, Brutal Funk, he just started calling me Shadcore because I said that in the title, and I was like, it had a ring to it. So I didn't think when I came up with the title for the song that would be my name until my boy Jay Funk started referring to me as Shadcore, and I was like, yeah, I like that.
I guess when you know, and then the rest is
when you know, yeah, bro. And that was back, man. I was 16 when I came up with that name.
Yeah, that's been the name ever since, huh?
Ever since, bro. It's just stuck with me, man.
Yeah, man. The shirt's dope, man. The logo's dope. I mean, just
appreciate it.
Everything, man.
You're looking pretty fly in it, my man.
Hey, man, I'm trying, man. So this is one of the questions I've definitely want to ask you is, I'm a list guy. Most music lovers top 5 albums, top 5, this, that. So top 5 rappers, man. Rappers, MCs, however you want to word it.
Nice. So I'm going to give you my personal favorite. So not necessarily saying these are the greatest of all time, but for me, they're my 5 greatest.
Same. Right.
Rakim, number 1. Andre 3000, number 2. Eminem, number 3. Ice Cube, number 4. And 5 is kind of like a toss-up between, I'm going to get a slight edge to Redman because I know more of his songs verbatim, but it's kind of like a toss between Redman and Black Thought. You know what I'm saying? Just, those are like 5/6 MCs who I can just listen to all day, bro, and just be blown away by their material.
That's a beautiful list. So I was listening to your track Must Love Hip Hop today. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, you referenced like my list. I'm like, he's going to think I'm Jack. Anyways, my list is, Nasty Nas, first and foremost, right? Rakim 2. Andre 3000 is just like always been on the list. Now I got to say Kendrick, man, hasn't released a bad album yet. It's been all classics.
Yeah.
And I was going to say Black Thought, man. I feel like he's still underrated, man. How he did with, was it Funk Master Flex?
Right. That 15-minute freestyle, bro. Incredible,
if there was any debate, he belongs up top, man. That was like debate over.
Right. He squashed any doubt at that point. It shouldn't have been any doubt, but because the real heads know, but that put him on a lot of people's radar right there, bro. It was incredible. Yeah.
So that's a beautiful, beautiful list, man. I could talk about hip hop all day. Yeah. I want to talk about your album.
Okay.
Just dropped. So tell a little bit about, creative process behind the album and how happy are you, man? Because
I am so happy with this album, bro. Like this album, especially at this stage in my career, to still feel like, to still have that hunger, to still have that drive, and to feel like I could actually put together what I feel is my greatest work at this stage. You know what I'm saying? But so the album, it was a joint effort between me and one sole producer, Troy Cedeno, for the C Lab. That's the name of the production studio. So long story short, I heard, I don't know if you're familiar with Ari Kai, but she's a singer from here, from St. Pete. Dope artist, dope vocalist, very creative, plays the ukulele. She gets down, she gets busy. So I'm a fan of hers because my band has played a show with her. So I kind of been following, her music trail or whatever. And her last album, well, not her last album, but her album before this most latest album, which was called Colorful, was produced by Troy Cedeno, who I didn't know at the time. But I was digging his production so much that I reached out to him gave him his props for the album sounding dope, and it was like, man, maybe me and you can hook up with some stuff in the future. You know, I do hip hop, whatever. And even though the album was an R&B produced album, I could hear his hip hop chops in the production. And so we linked up, man, and found out that hip hop is actually his first love, you know, and he didn't really, he said he had always longed to produce an all hip hop album, but just hadn't found an artist worthy enough of his production. So it was like you were saying,
stars align again,
up, right? Exactly, man. So we started out not really knowing we were going to do a whole album, but I kind of wanted to, you know, bounce some ideas off of him, see if I can get a couple tracks and just kind of, you know, keep it moving. And we did, the first track we did off the album is Saint Elsewhere. That was the first one we produced. And I was like, okay, let me see if I can get another one. Okay. I like the next thing. Let me see if I can get another. The next thing you know, I was like, you know what? I think we actually are putting a project together, bro. And so there were so many points that we thought we were done. Cause like I was thinking just a couple tracks. Then I was thinking an EP, and then it turned into an album. So we kept, you know, the creative juices were flowing, bro. We couldn't stop, bro. We couldn't stop. It was like eventually we gonna have to cut it off, and it just we got to 11, and it just felt right. It felt
that's
like
that's a perfect
yeah.
Awesome, man. So we won't go track by track, but I'll tell you, man, Suspense Chamber is just obviously the Wu influence is all through it. You post something about on Facebook, you're kind of doing a contest to how many like Wu references.
Yeah. So
I don't know if you what's the magic number?
When I went into it, I didn't have a set number. And somebody said it later. They just randomly guessed 36. I was like, that would have been so genius. That would have been. So I'm kind of mad at myself. I'm like, I might have to do a remix because I think when I counted, I think it's 28 total. So I was like, I just needed 8 more, and I could have had 36. But no, that was another fun experience where Troy had submitted a beat to me, and he basically like issued like a little bit of a challenge, like, what can you do with this? And I was like, bro, one thing you don't want to do is challenge me on like, what can I do with a beat? Because I will get on that beat and I'll get on that beat and just yes, exactly. And so when I heard the beat, you couldn't deny the Wu-Tang influence, right? It sounded very RZA-like. It sounded very
gritty, dark, New York.
Right. So I'm like, instead of shying away from that, let me cater to that and let me just show my love and appreciation for Wu, but I'm gonna do it in a creative way while I'm telling you how dope I am, just using nothing but Wu-Tang references. You know what I'm saying?
It's beautiful.
I didn't have to look up a single reference. All of that stuff just came from me being a fan. You know what I mean? And so I got busy, bro. I got busy, and I wanted it to be one of the things that I do every album I do, and I don't know if everybody catches this, but it's just something that I like to do. I like to have at least one song where I just rip the beat from start to finish, no hook, no break. And so I knew with that one, that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to have a hook. I just wanted to go from start to finish. And that's what I did. So
that's what's up, man. It's definitely my favorite track.
For sure.
My next one, Writer's Appetite. And then you hit us with the reprise and with
the reprise, yeah.
I'm like, okay, so I hear Big Rube, right?
Right.
Is this Sean? Is this him? Is this a sound alike?
Right.
No, that's
that's the Big Rube, exactly.
That voice is I don't want to take away from you, but I was like, it was just beautiful. So both.
Yeah.
The
so the first one, the original, I don't do a lot of posse cuts, but I wanted to have one where I just kind of celebrated some other dope artists local that are my personal faves, right? So I know how hard scheduling can be and stuff like that, but it was real important to me. So I created a group. I handpicked every MC, created a group chat, and, kind of put the filler out there that, hey, this is what I want to do. And everybody was on board. And so what I wanted was all of us to just spit 16. And I wanted the topic was talk about your passion for being a writer. You know what I'm saying? Because I can hear it in each one of their work that they're passionate about what they do. So it was important that I got people that I really felt like would do the track justice and would just be able to really convey that passion for just being a writer. And so, and plus I knew that each one had something unique. Each one of their voices are so unique to me. Each one of their styles are unique. Their flow, their cadence, their delivery. You can tell with each MC that's on a song that these are some people that's been doing it for a while. And I've worked with each one of these guys individually in the past, some on more occasions than one. And I was just like it'll be so dope if we can get all of us on one track together, kind of give it like a cypher feel. And one of the concerns, but to me it turned out to be like really a non-issue. One of the concerns was I didn't want the song to be too long, but at the same time I'm like, everybody's got to have 16 bars. You know what I'm saying? So it's not many songs that, that's not a standard to have like 5 verses on the song. But I'm like, well, you know what I'm saying? I've never been a in the box type of thinker anyway. So
right.
I'm like, if it's dope enough, it's gonna keep the listener's attention. That's what I was concerned. I was like, is it gonna get to where it's like, okay, when does this song end? But you don't feel that because everybody come with that heat, bro.
Yeah,
you know
I mean? It worked. It's beautiful, man.
It worked.
I love the track. So, and then you hit us with the reprise. So.
And then the reprise. So the reprise was like, okay, I showed you what I could do with a posse of cats. Now I just kind of want to bring it back home, make it a little bit more personal, where I just give you all of me, so to speak. But I also kind of wanted to play around with the idea of me working with like a legend and me working with a legend in the making in Eliana. So Big Groove, the legend, Eliana, the legend in the making, and just put it all together, bro. And actually I sent, because I worked with Big Groove on my previous album, right? And one of the things I wanted to make sure if I work with him again would be that we're actually both on the same song. Because the last album, I produced the beat and he just did an interlude. It was just him. I'm like, nah, we got to do one with both of us on the same song. So I sent him the original Writer's Appetite, and he was going crazy. He hit me back like, yo, bro, all 5 of y'all got off on there. He was like, let me hop on there. And I was like, I was like, let's do I'd rather it be a reprise because we already had 5 people. And I said, I'd rather it be like a reprise where you kind of can button everything up at the very end. And
do his own thing.
Yep. Yeah, do his own thing. And it worked out so perfect, man. I wanted to make sure the beat was a little different, that had like elements of the original, but just its own feel. And another interesting fact about the original and the reprise, if you look at the time counter, they're both the same exact time, 5 minutes and 26 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to give Big Groove his time, man. Like
yes, bro. It's no way hey, bro, he really could have talked for 3 minutes and just let me squeeze in 8 bars.
Just say anything, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he did his thing, man.
Well, it's awesome, and so did you, man. So giving you some credit, man. You really did your thing. The album is just amazing. It's dope.
Appreciate it.
Talk a little bit about how you can download it, how you listen to it. But you brought up collaboration. So I want to talk to you about the group, The Real Clash.
Yes, sir.
And then your involvement in that and how that came about.
So that came about basically just about the whole entire group all met in college, with the exception of our bass player, our guitar player, Jeff. Everybody else we met in the Mirror program at SBC back in like 2011, 2012. We all met back then. And Jay, the other MC in the group, had the idea of putting together a hip hop ensemble as far as being an elective that you can take to get credit, because the college had like rock ensemble, jazz ensemble, R&B ensemble. They had all of these ensembles where basically you get credit. You get like I think like 1 or 2 credits for working for an entire semester with other students to see basically how you gel and how you can collaborate with one another. And so the way you were graded is the whole semester you might work on 4 or 5 songs, and then you perform those songs at the end of the semester. Now, all those other ensembles were doing cover songs, you know, they weren't doing original songs. So Jay had the bright idea of us doing a hip hop ensemble and, you know, introducing that into the curriculum, but with us doing original pieces. So he handpicked every member because we had already worked individually with, you know, certain members as far as other projects and other classes. So he kind of knew who could do what. He knew that I rhymed. He knew Eliana sings. He knew Jordan played the keys and things like that. So he reached out to each one individually, and everybody was down with it. We had a few different members at the beginning. Everybody some people went their, you know, their own ways and did their own thing or whatever. But for the most part, we pretty much, just about everybody is, you know, an original member. And so the chemistry was undeniable. We couldn't predict that it was going to come together like it did, but it came together so tight. And we performed at the end of the semester like 6 or 7 original compositions that we worked on all semester. And the professors were blown away, bro. They were like, you guys sound like a full-fledged band. If I were you, I'd keep this going beyond, you know, like take it outside of these walls of school. And so that's what we did, man. We just started hitting up different venues. And what was really big for us was the music editor at the time for Creative Loafing, Leilani Pope. She had heard about us, so she came and saw us at a downtown St. Pete, a Don't Stop St. Pete festival back in like 2013. And she had heard about us. She was like, how good can a band that met at school really be? And she was so just she was so blown, bro, that she was like, not only am I going to do a story about you guys, but you're going to get the cover. So we were on the cover of Creative Loafing, bro.
That's
like in our very infant stages, pretty much. And that was huge for us. So that put us on a lot of people's radar. And we just did a lot of local shows in St. Pete, Tampa. The furthest we've taken it is the Okeechobee Music Festival back in 2017, where we opened for the Roots. We opened for Usher, Wiz Khalifa, Anderson .Paak, Funkadelic. We were on the same bill. Not only on the same bill, bro, but we played the same main stage as all the major artists. That was crazy. So
wow. So I mean, I'm guessing that's a career highlight, right?
That's definitely a highlight, bro. We got the star treatment, bro. We was backstage kicking it with Anderson .Paak, kicking it with Gallant and Funkadelic, George Clinton. It was awesome, bro.
So jealous, man, but yeah, well deserved.
yeah, for sure, man. So
what? They got a project out now, or y'all working on
TRC? Oh yeah, we definitely got something coming. Should be coming next month in December. We're putting the finishing touches on our. This will be our second project. We did one album called Clash Wednesday. That was back in 2016. This is our follow-up to that. It's an EP called Inadvertent Cohesion. So that should be done. It's about 5 songs. That should be done like right before Christmas, man. We should be able to.
Can't wait.
That'll be available, yeah. So you can definitely follow us at thisistrc.com. Get all the updates with us, videos, music,
perfect
pics, yeah.
Awesome, man. So you're busy, man.
Yeah, bro.
Grinding, hustling.
On top of, you know, working 2 jobs, you know, being a family man, married to my beautiful wife Tanya for 22 years now. Shout out to her. 3
Amazing.
amazing children, and we, you know, but got to keep grinding, man. I got to keep going for what I believe in, and I'm still passionate about it, bro. It's like I've been doing music for a long time now, bro. But one thing that hasn't changed is my love for it and my passion for just
Yeah,
creating. I love
right.
creating and writing songs. And
Well, man, I can hear the passion in your voice, the hunger, the album. So I'm so glad you like are part of this Tampa Bay community and you're putting out some dope.
so,
And speaking of just important music and an important song, I want to talk a little bit about Knee Off My Neck.
okay.
Obviously not going to ask what inspired that, but just how important was it for you? I mean, the song, the video, you know, always rely on hip to kind of like
Yeah,
cathartic in a way, or whether it was anger or
yeah.
emotion.
I,
And that
I
song is
felt
all
it
that.
was, I felt it was my responsibility, bro, as a writer. I have to be able to take all of that and put it to music, man. So, to even try to wrap your head around it, man, and try to give it some kind of perspective, some kind of justice. So it was absolutely necessary for me to write that song. Um, at first, I was going to come from a place of like healing, like we need to heal. It was going to kind of, you know, in my mind, I was thinking kumbaya.
Right.
And the more I watched the video, the more, you know, of what happened, the more enraged I felt. And I'm like, no, we have to, this has got to be more hard, more in your face,
Yeah.
more like, look, we tired of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we've had enough of this, and, you know, get your knee up our neck is literally, it's figuratively, it's, you know, it's all of that. So it was absolutely necessary to write it, and it had to be as hard and gritty as it is to get to arrest your attention. You know what I mean?
What an important song, you know, and not just for, you know, the Bay Area, not just for the country, man, but like it got like Chuck D heard it,
Yeah.
right? I mean, so it was like
Chuck
making
D
waves
heard
through
it,
like,
and yeah, man, and he heard it, and he closed his show out with it, and was crazy because he was he read a little bit of excerpts from the article that Gabe did about it. He read some excerpts before he introduced it from the article, and that was very huge, because it's because of people like him and people like NWA that made me feel like I have a voice to speak on this issue and to get it out,
absolutely.
you know what I mean? So that was like the ultimate compliment to get it in return from one of the greats, Chuck D.
Yeah, you know, I mentioned Kendrick earlier, you know, the song All Right, and how that kind of became,
Yeah,
you know, the anthem for the Black Lives Matter movement. And then I'm always going to hear Knee Off My Neck, you know,
yeah,
when I think of this time period, man. It's just an
yeah,
important song, and I'm so glad you wrote it. And
yeah,
the video is off the chain, and
yeah. Shout outs to Peter Newford from the band Holy Terror, who I didn't know personally, but he was friends with my friend Troy Cedeno, who's the one that produced the song. And
shout out to Troy, man. He's
yeah, Troy's a monster, bro. He's a godsend, bro. I feel like he's rejuvenated me. And now we have an unbreakable bond, bro, that like, I feel like anything we touch is going to be magic, man. So, yeah, Troy produced it, and his homeboy, Peter Newford, put the video together. And it was just, it's one of those things you don't want to have to write, but it's,
right.
you know, again, it was just necessary.
It's necessary at the same time.
Yeah. I see you got the Chuck D autobiography.
I do. I put it up just for you, man. Yeah.
I got a signed copy of that, bro. I got a signed copy. And the funny story is, I didn't get it from him directly. When my sister was in college in Indiana, she asked him if he would sign it for her brother Shadcore. And the name the name caught his attention because what I was telling you before, he was a celebrity judge in the VH1 thing.
Right.
So he knew who I was when she asked for him to sign.
So
yeah, bro. It's crazy,
dope,
bro.
Man.
It's so crazy.
And you sent him a copy of your album, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just waiting to hit. He's played like 2 or 3 of my songs like Knee Off My Neck was like maybe the 3rd song that he's played of mine. So it's only a matter of time before he drops something off a free song because he's got his radio show. It's online, but I think it also plays like on the air in New York. It's called And You Don't Stop. So yeah, Chuck is he's a fan.
He's a force. He's a force and he's a fan. That's pretty.
That's crazy.
I don't know anyone else that can say that.
Right.
You're the only one. But so listen, man, I want to honor your time, honor mine. I'm a family man. You are too. It's been a pleasure to have you on. Can you tell the people how to support you, how to follow you, how to listen to the album, all that good stuff?
Absolutely. The album is available everywhere digitally. So wherever you like to listen to music, if it's Spotify, if it's YouTube, Apple Music, my website, Shadcore.com, anywhere you listen to music, SoundCloud, Amazon, it's available. It's Shadcore, that's SHADCORE, and Free Song, FRISSON, which is basically a fancy word to describe goosebumps. And that's what I feel like this music does, man. It gives you those good feels, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah. So how about social media? How can we follow you on Instagram?
Hit me up on IG at Shadcore Official. Twitter is just at Shadcore. And Facebook, I think it's Shadcore 1, the number 1, to follow my page on Facebook. So, and then of course on YouTube, Shadcore. Yep.
Cool, and I'll post in the comment section too. But just know, man, not that you need us, but Green Book is behind you, man. We're gonna do whatever we can to, promote, to help you hustle.
Listen, bro,
traction.
I love what you guys are doing. It's just so awesome what you guys are doing and the platform that you have, and to help these businesses grow and help people be aware of these businesses and companies that they may not have known about if it wasn't for you guys. So you guys definitely continue carrying that torch, and just like you support me, I support you guys, and just keep it going, man. Keep it going.
Bro, I appreciate it, man. Well, let's just keep grinding together.
Yes, sir.
Forward, and we're gonna do this, man. So I appreciate it. This is not goodbye, just so long until next time, man. I look forward to hearing projects and future endeavors. So keep me posted, bro.
You got it, bro.
All right.
One love.
Wonderful holiday.
You too.
Sir. All right.
All right. Peace.
All right. Signing off.
Yes, sir.